What's cracking, YouTube? Thanks for joining in on another home improvement project. We're going to improve the lighting in this kitchen. So on camera, I think it's going to not look too bad, but in person, the lighting in the kitchen is really subpar. So let me show you the lights that we are working with. We have two of these, the infamous boob lights, but part of the problem we have with them is they're single lights, both of them. So kitchen's really pretty dreary. So I saw some the other day on the deal guys, what you should buy at Costco for, I think it was March. Our local warehouse was supposed to have the ones we wanted, but we couldn't find them. So I ended up ordering them online. These ones right here, 15-inch flush mount. Should be a big improvement. We got the black ones because the hardware we're going to put on the cabinets is going to be a brushed bronze that's nearly black. So this should match nicely. So we are going to see if we can swap these out tonight. So we do have an over the sink light that is also a little bit of a pain because you have to plug it in. So eventually I'll be adding a switch for that. That improves the lighting over the sink dramatically. You can see how much brighter it is coming from this side than from overhead. So this should be pretty straightforward. I'm thinking the wiring here is a little more modern than some of the other places in the house. So hopefully I can do this without making a mess or without having to mess with a lot of wiring. But won't know until we get into it. So we will cut the power. I'll turn on a headlamp and we'll get the first one down, see what we're dealing with. So I took a sharp putty knife, got this one loose, and similar to the other lights, we have not the correct screws. So in order to take this down, I've got to take these screws all the way out. And that one's apparently not in anything because it's pulling out. There we go. Ooh. Now this I can work with. This is fairly modern. I don't know why they had these big wood screws in this one, because I've got a normal box that is flush with the ceiling. This is awesome. So with that, it is time to cut the power. Okay, my power's off. I've got my tester here, and there's nothing here. Just an observation. I don't think it matters on an overhead light like this, but the wiring is hooked up opposite. I've got black to white and white to black. But yeah, I don't think it really matters on this, but I will be hooking it up the other way. After I get this fixture down, I think I'll turn the power back on and just verify that the black is my my line where my power is coming through. But let's take these wire nuts off, pull these off. Okay, this fixture is down. Now let's turn the power back on and just verify. Okay, so it is, my power is coming in correctly through the black line. So now let me show you the replacement that I have unboxed already. It's really pretty straightforward to put it in. So this is really straightforward. We've got our neutral white and our load black and a ground. It's got the screw holes right here, which are universal in size, and then these 3 wings. And the wings release the cover from the light itself. So we've got the base and then the cover. And this is really light, so it's going to be really nice to work with. So I'm going to set the cover here on the kitchen table. And then to put the cover on, you just lift it up and then flip this tab, and that thing flips around and kind of locks it in place. So this is like less than a pound. So this will be really easy to work with. All right, so I'm gonna get this wired up and put up in place. All right, first one is done. We'll do a test in a few moments. I'm getting ready to go to the second one. But one thing that kind of baffles me on the electrical in this house, it has been upgraded from the original knob and tube, which is way outdated. I don't know when new wiring was added to this house, but it's still on the old side. It doesn't have new Romex, and I am seriously considering doing a whole rewire. So one of the things, for example, that baffles me is the light that I just replaced had a ground wire with the wiring that somebody had just cut off halfway up the light. Now the fixture that I took off didn't have a ground attachment, but the ones I'm putting on do have them, and I want to connect those. And there's lots of other places where outlets and stuff that are not grounded that don't have a grounding wire. So something that I'm looking to fix, but I'm just curious why someone would cut it off and just kind of leave it. Anyway, I'm hoping on this second one that I can also get to it. I was able to clip off the end of the ground in the first one, which had paint and stuff on it, and I was able to get back to some good bare wire. It was a trick to get it hooked up, just because of how short it was, but I did manage to do it, and I just used wire nuts instead of my new Wago connectors. For this, I think that will work just fine. So now, on to the second one. All right, I am installed. Obviously don't have the cover on this one yet. My wife came in and asked, why is the box off center? And to that, I do not have an answer. It's not my handiwork, but you can clearly see on this one, somehow the light got put on way off center. That's all right, we're gonna paint eventually anyway. So now we picked these lights for a couple of different reasons. One, we liked the style, particularly the flush mount, and we are expecting them to be brighter, being LEDs, but also if you look right there, you can adjust the color, like the Kelvin color, from orange, yellow, all the way up to like a bluish white. So they came on a factory setting. Both of them are on the same one, so I'm going to start with that one and we'll see how it goes. All right, both covers are on. You can see that one. I don't know how well you can see that one, but they're both on. So let's flip the switch off. Okay, power on. Okay, we have power to the dining room. It's on the same circuit. All right, let me get behind you here. That's worse. That's definitely not as bright. So we'll adjust the color setting, but that almost makes me wonder if we don't have a full 120 volts going to these. Yeah, that was very anticlimactic. Okay. Let's see here. This brightens them up. That didn't even change anything. Well. Okay. Huh. Nice mood lighting. Not the mood we want in the kitchen.
Nope.
Okay. Let me try something here. I wonder. Okay, and when you hit the light switch, off and back on.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, well now they're both brighter. So I don't know what that was about. Okay, so, and now we have adjustability. Okay, what color do you like?
That one.
That one?
Yep.
Those should match.
Now I can see.
That's much better. Okay. So I don't know on camera if you can tell a difference, but there is definitely a difference in here. That's way brighter. I don't know why the very first time we turned them on, they were like half power. I don't know if that was a light thing, circuit thing. I don't know. Let me...
Might be the circuit.
I don't think it's the circuit. I think it's the switch.
Bad switch.
Every other.
Let me check this one.
It might be a three-way switch thing. So we've got a little electrical question for when the electrician comes to consult me. So that's kind of annoying. The extra light is great, but yeah. I don't know if it's the three-way switches are worn out. It's just weird. Okay, I looked it up last night before I went to bed. Just did a Google search, and Google tells me there's like 4 reasons that the lights could be doing what they're doing. 2 of those reasons are highly unlikely, but they did mention them. But let's go over the other 2. So the 2 primary reasons they said is that the traveler wires, which are the 2 on the top, could be like flipped around. So I just checked this one, which I believe is the main switch, and that does not seem to be the case. I haven't checked the other one, but I kind of doubt that's the reason. The second reason they said is that the switch could be bad, and I'm leaning towards that one. Also, if you look here, you can see that the tines on the switch are bent. This cluster of wire nuts was behind this and was not allowing it to really sit flat. So I'm going to take the opportunity to order up probably 2 new 3-way switches. I'll get one for each side just in case. They're like $5 a piece, so they won't break the bank. And then I'll probably redo this box a little bit so that the switches will recess into the box properly the way they are supposed to. And that will probably involve using some of my new Wago connectors. So anyway, that's what I have kind of determined so far in the absence of a professional electrician. I'll try new switches and see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then we'll know we've got some bad wiring. Alright, it is the next day, and I stopped at Lowe's on my way home from work and picked up 2 new 3-way switches. So these are just regular 15 amp, 120 volt, which should be the same as that one. The one over by the garage, or by the back door, seems to be maybe like a heavy duty one, but I assume that these will do just fine. So I'm going to have to cut the power here in a second. So I've got my headlamp on, even though I've got decent light still coming in. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's try it. Cut the power and switch these over. Okay, so I've got the switch pulled out, and obviously something here is still live. My power is off. My ground just touched the outlet. So I either blew that circuit. Okay. Well, that was exciting. All right, so a couple problems going on in here. All right, so this is should be my load line. No, excuse me, my line. And then these two are the travelers. And then I've got my ground that is just twisted together without a nut. That's a problem, as you just saw. And these are also really bulky, and they push the switch out. So I'm going to take this opportunity to grab my Wago connectors, and a couple of these are on our pigtails, and this one has paint on it. So I probably don't have a good connection, which might be part of our problem. So the other ones look like they're okay. So I'm not going to worry about those, but I'm just going to clean these up. So it'll be all better in the long run, I think. The wife said that the lights downstairs in the TV room flickered when that spark happened, and there is a blown circuit in the circuit box. So for some reason, this outlet is on its own circuit. This runs the kitchen and dining room lights, but all the other outlets in the kitchen are all still on. So I'm sure there's other outlets or other things connected to this one line. It's just strange that how they've done it. Again, a testament to why I want to redo all the wiring so that it makes more sense. But anyway, now that is off because it's blown, and I'm going to leave it off just in case, and grab the Wago connectors and put things all together correctly. All right, this is looking a lot better already. So I've got my Wago connectors, all my neutrals, my line in with my pigtail, and one thing that was missing was a ground going to the switch itself. Speaking of the switch, here's the one that I took off, and yeah, you can see they just painted over it. Doesn't give you a lot of confidence that there's electrical tape falling off, but you can see that this switch does not have a ground on it. So my new switch does have a ground. Okay, so I am thinking that this is all around going to be much, much better. Okay, so there is my line in. Main one. I'm going to, oh, well, there's a problem. Just broke off, and this pigtail is already pretty short. So I have a easy fix for that. Get rid of the old one. I happen to be working right over the garbage, so that's an easy thing to do. Okay. Just got the broken piece out. Okay, and same little bit that I took the ground wire out of. I still have the other two wires, so I will put this to use, brand new. Happen to have my strippers handy. One side done. Second side done. And put a J-hook in it. Perfect. Well, I'll go ahead and put it on the switch first. Alright, there's that. Let's go ahead and put the ground on. Okay, good. Those two are on. Now, put the... On the switch, it's labeled as the common. So we'll put that one back in. That's now connected. Now, those are all in good shape. Now I need my travelers. Put on. Okay. All cleaned up. Everything seems tight. Much tidier. So, let's give it a try. Turn the power back on. Kitchen light. Okay. We have full brightness, off, half brightness, full brightness, half brightness. Okay. So, we have not solved our problem, but I do have one more switch to change. Okay, so if I had to pick where there was a problem, it would have been this one. Mostly just because this switch is old. And yeah, at least this one had a ground on it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some more research on how three-way switches work. I'm not an electrician, so basic switches I can understand. Three-ways obviously are giving me some trouble, so I'm gonna have to sort this out another day. I have a happy update on these kitchen lights. I noticed a couple weeks ago that I have not had to double flick the light switch to get full power in the kitchen, which kind of occurred to me as weird. If I needed to do that every other time, I would have at least at some point had to do that, and I haven't had to once. About a week ago, I picked up a new light, also from Costco. Not the same brand as these, but similar style and functionality. And I noticed on the box as I was getting ready to install it in another room that it said it had a night light feature, and to operate the night light didn't require any apps or extra switches or anything like that. And it just clicked on me. It dawned on me. The only way to do that is to flick the switch up and down, similar to a headlamp that has multiple modes. And that's what these lights do. So it's not a problem with the wiring. It is a function of the light. You double flick it and it goes into like night light mode and goes at reduced power. And so with that, I can declare that this job is done. These lights have been functioning perfectly well. We really like the additional light they bring in. This kitchen is so much brighter. And so this is a project done. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you want to see more content like this, I've got lots of other projects coming down the pike. I've got several already started, nearly completed, but I've been tied up with finishing school, and now that that is done, I'm going to get a bunch of these out pretty soon. So if you want to see more, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell when the other ones drop. And I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.